Sorry we're running a little late. Please all rise for a short prayer. Again, dear Father, we're asking your help and blessing in protecting West Virginia residents, but are concerned especially for all our Bethlehem families. We again reach out to you for help in granting us strength, faith, and a willingness to always make the proper, correct decisions to benefit all our village residents, also in view of the current coronavirus pandemic. Thanks be to God for all you do for us. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Mr. Matt, if you would be so kind to call the roll for us, please.
Councilman Otten.
Here.
Councilman Bishop.
Here.
Councilman Herschuk.
Here.
Councilman Henry.
Here.
Mayor Junkins.
Here.
Councilman Sassine.
Here.
Recorder Sassine. Here. Councilman Snyder.
Here.
Councilman Wojcik.
Here.
Okay. Do you have before you the minutes of a previous council meeting? I have them here somewhere. Anyway. Anyway, does everybody have before them their previous council meeting minutes? Is there any question on the minutes? If there be no question, I would entertain a motion that we approve the minutes as presented.
So moved.
Second? Okay. Any question on the motion? Be no question on the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you. Matt, back to you. You have a report?
The next council meeting will be held Monday, October 19th, 2020 at 8 p.m. here at the village office. The only other thing I have tonight, Mayor, is just a reminder that if you have not yet handed in the quarter 3 2020 campaign financial statement, please have it filled out in full and returned to me by October 7th, 2020. That's all I have tonight, Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Matt. Okay, accountant's report. Jamie, you have some things you want to tell us tonight, please?
Sure. So you guys all should have got your comprehensive statements that are submitted. That's what goes to the state and that is audited. And then also if 3 or 4 people would be willing to stay for about 10-15 minutes after the meeting, we need to pick the auditors for this year and next year. It was a 2-year bid. So I do have all the information on that, and we need to grant that to award that to one of these companies to get it on the schedule.
Okay, you need like about 4 people to serve on this
Yeah.
committee, okay?
Mm-hmm.
How about Matt Sassine for one? Who else wants to step forward here? Aaron, how about you?
I can't.
Okay, do we have any volunteers?
No, actually, you gotta
What's that?
take care of Helen when I get home.
Okay. You
I'll
say,
step up to the plate.
Yeah, I can do it.
what's that?
I'll step up to the plate.
Okay, thanks, Tommy. Okay, how about, you got Matt, you got Tommy, you got Aaron, and I'll be with you, so. Did you want to discuss that now, or you want to wait till the new business?
We generally just do it during the committee meeting. It's not generally done during the
Okay,
actual meeting.
alrighty. Okay. Next, we got the marriage report. I want to sort of bring council up to date. There's been a lot of things going on in the last 2 weeks. I tell you, it's been overwhelming. There's something comes up different every day and sometimes twice a day. The road paving for the 2020 summer has been completed. Road milling started on Monday, September 14, at Community Park Playground parking lot, and then they went to Shortwood Circle. In both these areas, there were some soft spots that had to be addressed. What they did, they built up the soft spots with more base so that we wouldn't be losing that part of the paving. Road milling continued on Tuesday, September 15th on Cherry Lane and North Crest Court. Base coat started on Wednesday on the park paving lot and continued on Thursday, along with Shortwood Circle. On Friday, base coat was applied to Cherry Lane and North Crest Court. Top coat was applied on Monday, September 21, to Shortwood Circle and North Crest Court. Then on Tuesday, September 22, Cherry Lane and the parking lot. Finishing touches and sealing was completed during this week, and our engineer Jack Tuss was on site every day to oversee this project. Wilson Blacktop Corporation did a good job. One thing I noticed in my travels, that something that I hadn't noticed before, but at all the joints and everything, like coming down the park road here, where you spur off to the parking lot of the park, they took and they sealed that seam there. And it's very noticeable because there's different flavors of sealing. There's some with a glossy finish and some with a non-glossy finish. And they did that on the other end. They did that at Cherry Lane. They did it on Shortwood Circle. They did it up North Crest Court. In fact, up at North Crest Court, the road has sort of V's into the center, and they went down the center and they did that. That's usually, I have a complaint about the state because when they butt two roads together, they leave that open, and in the wintertime the water gets in there, and that's what develops the potholes in. But I like the idea that they did that. And then previous years up here, we've had an outfit come in and seal our roads. Briarwood Drive is a perfect example of that. You'll see all kinds of, looks like designs and everything, but that's sealing that's put on there to preserve and extend the life of the road, which it has done. Next, Michael's Way will not be paved until next spring, the spring of 2021, due to the necessary construction and corrections in construction that need to be addressed. Next, brush hogging. Some of our roads and streets that are worked on are not yet finished. We picked up most of the big brush, but we'll return to get the loose branches and material left behind. Most all the roadways, such as Macaulay Estates entrance, Birch Lane and extension, Village Drive, Poplar Lane, Cedar Lane, Community Park Road, and some other areas were cut, but we're not done yet. So we'll go back and pick up what we didn't get initially. Our police officers have issued citations to speeders on Chapel Road, Bethlehem Boulevard, East and West, Ridgecrest Road, and I-470 at nighttime. Contractor Edge Company Incorporated has completed the demolition of the former Hammond property at 27 Chapel Road for the Bethlehem Fire Department this past week. The village's financial report for the fiscal year July 1, 2019 through June 30, 2020 was published once in the News Register on September 25, 2020 as planned. Cosing Construction is still working on both Chapel Road and Spruce Street Bridges projects. I now hear that the completion date for both is December 2020. They're about, I think, a year late. I don't know why the state's giving them so many extensions. But that's the way it goes, I guess, with a couple of delays. Ben Gilbert tonight, he's going to update council on his progress in dealing with not only the automated meter reading program system, but you'll see up there, there's a trial base station on top of the file cabinet, and he will go into the nuts and bolts and tell you about that. Low band versus high band. Halloween trick-or-treat in Bethlehem scheduled for Saturday, October 31, 2020. Last council meeting approved was granted to hold a drive-by and handout by volunteers originating at the Bethlehem Presbyterian Church, 45 Chapel Road. Time of this event is beginning at 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Our Parks and Recreation Committee, Aaron Groth, chairperson, has been working and coordinating details for this event. Also, the traditional trick-or-treat Halloween will be held in Bethlehem with hours 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Again, we recommend all village residents that participate in this event exercise caution and follow the CDC recommendation. of safe practices regarding the current COVID-19 pandemic. The village does not assume any liability in this matter. The City of Wheeling has scheduled its Halloween for Saturday, October 31, 2020, with hours 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Also, if the state of West Virginia issues a different order that changes their schedule, Wheeling will abide by the same. Bethlehem needs to consider this also if the state makes these changes to our intent. I'm in the process of ordering new signs to comply with the recently adopted ordinance addressing load limits for commercial and heavy vehicles in the village of Bethlehem. As soon as the signs are received, they will be installed. Under new business, I'll represent council with a mayoral proclamation which I received in the mail last week covering Christian Heritage Week in West Virginia being celebrated between November 22 and through the 28th, 2020. This is something we've done in the past that came in from the governor's office and everything, and maybe I should have made copies of this I'll read this under new business when we address it. The last 2 weeks have been very busy addressing residents' concerns and following up on projects in process. Last week, our street crew read water meters, less any concerns that had to be addressed at that time. We reserve the last week of every month to read meters so that the billing cycle remains constant. That is, keeping the billing period approximately the same amount of days. The target is like between 24 and 26. Sometimes we get out of cycle and somebody gets a water bill that normally has the minimum, and if we would, and I've seen it as much as 35 days difference, they'd be moved up to the next category and they'd be paying for 4,000 gallons, and then the next month bring it down again. It would bring it back down, but they get, it all averages out, but we're trying to use that as a criteria to keep it the last week, every month we read them so that we're in that 24 to 26 day time frame. Also, this Street 2 has routine projects and assignments to address daily, as well as the ones that I assigned that originate from residents' concerns. Recently, the crew has assignments trimming, maintaining trees and tree branches, installing water diverters, speed bumps, road and pothole patching, storm sewer water projects, as well as maintaining the basins, updating and maintaining road and street signs, other miscellaneous projects and concerns that arrive. I've done a lot of drive-by in the village as well as follow-up on various projects in the process or completed. I've added a lot of mileage on my truck since I became mayor. I am not complaining about that matter, but what I want to see is what's going on in different areas so I can be more informed on the overall picture. The picture is worth 1,000 words. Also, I have been seeking prices on and availability on rolled salt for this coming winter season, and I don't think it'll be a problem like we had last year, so I've got several irons in the fire. I don't know if you've noticed or not, but the steel deposit box situated at the Community Park Road entrance on the left side seems to be all of a sudden some problems here. A couple of months back, because of all the truck traffic with the interstate construction, people decided, well, this would be a good place to back in and turn around and go the opposite direction because they got hogtied. They came in and they didn't read the signs that said no semis beyond this point. Well, our box got knocked off one time, and our street crew sort of put it back together and put it on in place. Now, last week someone evidently tried to access our box. Now, the box has the channels in. You pull the cover down, you can't get your hand down in there. And when Dory took the contents out that morning, she didn't think there was anybody got away with anything in there because you couldn't get your hand down there. So they immediately ordered 2 new boxes. The new one is already in place. We've got our logo on it, but we probably need to put some wording on there, like we use that for water and sewer payments and also police fines. They can drop them in up there. But in the meantime, we have one, if you see a red one, between the 2 doors here. Now, of course, that one has a camera on it, so we don't worry about that, but at least Ben's got it bolted to the wall, and that took up the slack before we got the other one installed up there at the entrance. These boxes help the residents to place their water and sewer bills for payment and also police ticket payments. With the current virus, this helps keep the bug out of the office. People always want to come in and everything, and that's not a good thing. I'm trying to protect the girls and everybody else that work in the office here. Now, yesterday afternoon, I get a call from my man Aaron there, and he was out on the road. He called me, and eventually I got a hold of Ben. And I don't know how this happened, but I had second thoughts that maybe how it actually happened. There's a big storm sewer grate, and you're not gonna, I don't know if any humans can actually physically pick it up because it's too darn heavy. So anyway, Aaron called me, so then I got a hold of Ben, and we went over there. I had the two policemen who were out on duty. They came over too. And while we were trying to restore the system, what happened? That sewer grate was like in the center of the top of Bay Tree Hill there. There's a big brick wall, Bay Tree Wall, sort of in the front of that on the roadway. That grate got dragged up around the corner in the roadway that goes between the playground up there, and there's a house there, and then access Mount Lebanon Drive. That thing must have been dragged, about 20 feet maybe? Something like that. Something like that. Initially, I thought there was some pranksters or something and put a chain on and dragged it. And the more I thought about it, that's not what happened. I think it's what happened. And while we were up there working, and Eric can attest to this, people kept flying by. Well, when that grate was off that hole was it's this way. And if somebody like a young girl or a child, or a teenager or something, a woman or something would have come in there, if they would have come in and hit that drain, they had had to be towed out, and it had a lot of damage done to their car. So anyway, I got Ben, he got the Kubota, went up there, he got his chain, he got the hook, and had that back in place. Now while we were working up there, traffic kept flying by. They didn't slow down much. I'd like to have something to put under their tires to calm them down. We should have shut the whole area down for safety reasons, but we didn't. But it didn't take Ben that long to get it. But I got thanks Aaron for calling me and everything, and it prevented a liability problem for us too. I mean, it's just, you don't like to see people get hurt. Now, last night, coming down the road here, it stormed and everything. One or two of the trees came down on the road. Okay, so we had a problem, and what it did, it took out the drop that services the street lights here on Chestnut Lane. The feed line that energizes that comes up there. There's a pole that you might say it's a small pole. It leans a little to the right because I think there's pressure on that, and then it comes down the road here. And anyway, the AP came out and they did their thing, but also one of our street crew guys were out, and one of our policemen just happened to be by here. And when I came down here and saw, I don't know where he was coming from, but he had his truck, he had a trailer, he had all kinds of equipment on. Well, he has a battery operated chainsaw, state of the art, I guess. So he and Ronnie helped cut the tree up and everything, but it's not done because I've been talking to Tommy here, because they did reinstall some of the drops there that were out, but there's from right above the entranceway where you come into our shelter there, that's where the line's down basically, and the guys were cleaning up a lot of the debris on the road, but I told them not to where the line is down. But where the line is down, it's de-energized because you can see the pole where it came apart and everything. And I told Tommy it'd be easier for their crew to work on during the daytime when you can see what you're doing and where things are. So that'll be done. That'll be put back in the service here shortly. So those are just some of the things that went on here in the last couple of weeks, but it seemed like there was something new every day, or a problem here, a problem there. But I try to stay on top of things and get things done. Other officers report. Tom, do you have anything you want to?
I have nothing tonight.
Okay, thank you. Police chief's report, you should have on your desk there tonight the offenses and citations for September 2020. So. Okay, committee reports. Next we'll go down the list here as soon as I find it. Let's just flip this over. Oh, yes. Patient, do you have anything on the committee
Yeah, I
reports?
stopped in to see Aaron today. We're gonna have a meeting Thursday, 5:30.
Okay.
Okay, we figured make it a little earlier.
Talk about Turks and Treats. Okay, okay.
Well, it's getting late, you know what I mean? We don't wanna wait till the last couple of weeks, but we need donations. I mean, if you guys can't work, maybe, you know, I know Sam's, I went over and picked up, they got the big bags of, you probably see them, different, combination of sandwiches, candies. You can stop at Sam's or Walgreens, if you drop something off, you know, we're gonna start packing it Thursday at the meeting while we're talking. But, if you can possibly help, I'd like to have, what did we have? I said, 16 stations, 8 and 8. So it'd be nice to have like 2 people at each station, I'm thinking, so.
I'll be there.
Yeah, we're talking 32 people. But if you can't do it, and you can't make it, at least try to donate, you know, the candy. We're gonna go around solicit from the companies around here. I'll get my mouth working here pretty soon. I think that's about it. So I'll probably let you know next council meeting what's all going. Of course, you'll probably be there, Dawn. So
What'd you?
5:30 Thursday.
5:30
Yeah,
Thursday.
5:30 Thursday.
Is that meeting here at the office?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, anybody can make it, fine. Oh, I know what I wanted to add. If you've got any relatives that live in Bethlehem, maybe ask them, hey, can you donate a bag of, you know.
In the letter, does it say, residents can, donate? Cause I had one of my neighbors ask me, cause I was,
If what can donate? Residents?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make
It
sure.
says if you would like to donate
Yeah,
candy
here's,
treats.
yeah,
Okay.
here's the letter that she's gonna be sending out. You can see she got everything organized right here. And I think that she's gonna talk about that, whether that you said put those 3 ideas on, it's gonna be from state thing, so. All right, that's about it. But if you can make it 5:30 Thursday, we'll appreciate it. If not, start maybe dropping some candy off so we can start packing this stuff. Thank you.
Okay, police committee. Bobby, you got anything?
No, I'm just glad to see we're getting some traffic stops on our
Yeah,
village lane.
you and me both.
Compared to 470.
You
Glad
and me.
to see that.
Yeah, well, things are sort of getting back to normal with, you know, the police, that you probably know too, that, you know, originally the state says, slow down, you know, this and that, so, but the things are seem to be opening up and everything, so. Okay, roads and streets,
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
nothing tonight, okay. Tim, water and sewer, you got anything?
Nothing this evening, sir.
Okay, thank you. Zoning work?
No, nothing.
Okay. We'll get to Ben here next. Maintenance, you want to speak to us about a couple projects that you're involved in?
Sure. All right, I think we can all probably agree that radio reads have been tabled to at least January, possibly even a little bit later, despite any involvement that the commission might end up contributing. So instead, since that's pushed off a little bit and I don't have much to add to that as I'm waiting on more information, I'd like to talk about how we can improve a much smaller aspect of our street crew back here, which is the improvement of our radio network. A lot of us are using our personal cell phones to communicate with each other throughout the village, and as I'm sure some of you have encountered, it's not exactly reliable all the time. There's dead spots by the village ball field, the bottom of Bee Haven, certain aspects of Walnut. Hell, I've dropped a call on Spruce. I also know that some of my guys are paying for their minutes on their phones still. So it got me really working on handhelds that we can have on our person, which is a pretty standard thing with larger municipalities. It's also, you know, something that I know a lot of you are familiar with, what the fire department is going to have with them. You know, it's instantaneous communication everywhere in the village. For us, a base in here, and the improvement of our radios in our trucks. We have a lot of interference on a low band, which is what we have right now, which according to 2 different salesmen, is 25 years obsolete. So, now I don't know what to make of that, because I'm not going to pretend to be a radio expert. But I can tell you that I put together three quotes from communications companies that have worked with us in the past. One being Progressive, who does our radios and has done our radios for our trucks since we started getting them. Hell, it's years now. Staley, which is now Bearcom, which does the police radios. And Laudamus, which was just the third company in the area that also did this sort of thing. I printed out a copy of what I believe to be the best of these, and I'll tell you any information you want on the other ones. But the best price that we were able to get was from Progressive, and that is for 6 handheld units, 1 for each of the team, 4 in-vehicle radios, 1 being for each of the trucks, and the backhoe, which currently does not have a radio in it. And I'm out of them, TC. I gotta give one to Aaron. Okay. Sorry, buddy.
I can overflog it.
Sorry, I guess I printed out too few. So yeah, 6 units, 4 for the in-vehicles. Like I said, the backhoe doesn't have one in it right now, and should. And the replacement of this base unit in here. As you can see, it breaks all that down on this quote. Every one of these other quotes is given the exact same information or requirements that we needed. They're running off of existing systems that we're going to piggyback off of with our own private channel. There is a recurring cost for each of these, Progressive being the least at $144, Bearcom being $198, and Laudamus being $186 a month. That's for the rental and use of their equipment. Progressive has a big tower out on Benwood Hill offering 30 miles of coverage and a circular radius from there, which would more than cover Bethlehem. And anybody got any questions, concerns?
What's the replacement, I don't know, whether it's protocol or whatever, because you know they're going to get dropped in a water break hole. You know what I mean? They're going to come off a belt when somebody's in the hole, and they're going to get submerged in water.
Right.
They're going to get, dropped out of unclipped from the belt when we go to refill the salt thing, and they get run over. That's going to happen.
As far as I'm aware from speaking with this guy, that rental fee that you see that highlighted at the top of that page is you're renting this equipment. So if something were to happen to it, we might incur a small charge, but would not be anywhere near the cost of a new radio outright.
You know, if you've ever seen the guys work in a water break or something, they have the least amount of stuff on them, and I think it would behoove them to park their radios at that time if they're in a ditch and stuff in the trucks. Leave the port on the truck so you don't run into that. I know if I was.
It's going to happen, though.
Well, I understand it will happen, but we can prevent it by, if I were down in a ditch, I wouldn't want all kind of stuff on my belt.
No, but I've been in that boat, and I've seen them jump right out of the truck and jump right in a hole because they want to try and fix it.
Yeah, well, they need to be trained.
Phone, boots, keys be damned, they get right in the hole to try and fix the problem.
I'm not going to lie and say that that's improbable or impossible.
Right.
But I can tell you that this is a real, because it comes out of all 3 funds. So realistically, this is kind of a very small incurred charge to any one of our accounts. Like, we literally have the accountant here that could break that down and say, it's like probably what, $26.50 or something if you went with Progressive, which I honestly think is who I would recommend because they're familiar with our fleet anyway. They've been doing stuff with our radios. I asked them if they had low band handhelds that would. They can find them. but they're about $1,000 a piece.
Well, Little Bands was going out of style.
They said they're literally pushing everybody away from it. This was a conversation that I believe we had a few years ago, and we just didn't pull the trigger on it then. But it's something that I'm seeing. It might be a necessity for the team now because of, for one, we're incurring charges, like literal charges, to communicate with each other, and I don't think that that's right. But that's just one stance of it. It's more reliable communication. It's instantaneous communication. If I have everybody spread out all over town, I can send the same thing out to everybody all at once.
So we take this up on our new business then, Don?
Outside of Staley's, who's the third company you said? that
Laudamus.
was on? Excuse me?
Laudamus.
A lot of us are on the street.
Laudamus. Oh, let me give you those amounts, by the way.
Laudamus is
Yeah,
right
I
up
was
there
gonna
on,
request what the other two
Yeah.
bids were.
Laudamus is the same setup. They came in at 11,180. Bearcom also, that's who is allowing us this demo of their equipment, which we were trying out today. They came in at $12,030. So as you can see, Progressive came in at a substantially lower amount.
What was the last one?
$12,030.
now I might have missed the conversation. Now, are we buying this stuff or renting it?
You're continually renting this equipment. So as
And the cost,
it
that's,
becomes outdated or if it gets defective, we can replace it and keep the system going. That's the recurring charge every month, along with the use of their giant tower over on Benwood Hill.
that price you're quoting, that's the price to get everything started. It's not gonna cost that much every year, right?
No.
$144 a month, it's on there, $144 a month.
Yeah, $144 a month is going to be your recurring charge
All right,
for our radio network thing.
okay.
But that initial cost will be the $8,100. But as I said, that would come out of all three because it's used for all three. It's universal across
So
there.
we
So.
need to highlight it, okay.
We would take that up on our new business, right, Don?
Yes. Take it on.
Thank you.
Any other questions of Ben while he's got his paper? How about, I'd like to get copies of quotes for Mac and myself of that,
Yeah,
all
sure.
three.
I just
You
didn't
gave us the
have
one.
enough time. I wanted
Okay.
to print out the one that.
Yeah, okay. Okay, any other things you want to mention?
From us, we're meeting with, I believe it's the Public Service Commission, or PSD, maybe, PSD.
The Ohio County Public Service District out in Triadelphia. Wednesday night, I'm gonna take Ben and Aaron and going out there and attend their meeting. I've talked to the commissioner that heads that up and everything and told him what we wanted to do, what we're involved in. And also, they've been involved with the radio read meter system for 3 years now. So we're gonna be picking their brain and working with them and seeing just what they're doing there. That's the idea of going out there and in their meeting.
And if the commission were to get involved with
Yeah.
our radio read acquisition, I imagine they're going to encourage the use of the local vendor, which case would be National Road and their Badger products. And that's why Aaron Roth and I are also going to a training for that software and that beacon program tomorrow and Wednesday down for PSD2. They've been kind enough to invite us down to sit in on their training session so we can get a leg up on learning the ins and outs of that even before it becomes something in here. They can have questions for when they upgrade their software here, which is another need. So,
The only question I got, Ben, is, I don't know if TC has talked to anybody or not, the commissioners or anything like that.
I have.
Okay, but is this, we gonna just implement this till we get the money from the commissioners? You know, in other words, can we use this after, if we get this automated system in, can we still use, is it?
Yeah, we're basically doing our homework now. You know,
Yeah.
while we can.
Well, if we bring
I
it
don't
up to
know
new
that I
business, though,
understand your
what do we?
No, this is a totally separate,
Okay,
Yeah.
this is for them to talk to each other in the trucks and on the roads.
okay.
The radio read
This has got
system
nothing to
will
do
not
with our-
interfere
yeah, this
with
is
that at all.
completely
Yeah.
separate.
Okay, I understand.
It's just something that I saw was a need. I promise, I will be here once a month and I will not always be asking you for something, but but this just became.
How's
But
that
you know,
start?
it's a
We thought they had an award.
Is that a 2021 thing or?
yeah, well, it's coming up. Yeah.
I understand that.
What is the monthly rental for the other ones?
It is 144.
No,
For the other ones.
Oh, for the other ones. Okay, yeah. Okay, sorry. Let's see. I have that highlighted here for myself. 186.56 is the monthly for Laudamus, and the monthly for Bearcom is 198 even. So the rental,
They're higher in all categories.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Ben.
Okay. Okay, we'll shift over to old business. Is there any old business to come before council tonight?
I have what I think would be old business.
Okay.
I was contacted by residents at 14 Hickory, the Zigglers. They had been approached with a lease or a right-of-way agreement from the village
Right.
several months ago for a drainage issue. They said that they had called and explained that they did not want to agree to that easement agreement, nor did their neighbors, the Slagers, and they are getting ready to replace their retaining wall. It's falling over, and they were hoping that the water drainage issue could be fixed before they put 50,000 into a wall.
Right.
But they said they've called here several times and hadn't heard anything. Of course, they can't come to a meeting because of COVID.
See, the thing is,
Yeah.
there's two agreements. There's one with their neighbors, the Sliders, there's one with them, and they both have to sign off on it. And they wanted, after I had the engineer, I spent the solicitor's time and the engineer's time, they wanted to change the things. And we told them this was the best route to go. And the last time I had a conversation with them, the Zigglers are in favor of that now. They finally saw the light, because we were not gonna go through, she wanted us to go through her step-up garden where the lines go now. We need to isolate that, because it's just gonna cause them more problem. If they get water that destroys their garden, they get water down in their foundation and everything. I'm very much aware of that.
Yes, and
So,
what she explained to me
Yeah.
last week was that she does not agree with the new with the new easement agreement
okay,
that
well,
takes it behind and then over to Slagers, nor did the Slagers.
Well,
I'm just
Yeah,
passing it along.
I'll have to
She-
get back into that.
Yeah, she
She's
said
been
that,
talking to me for over a year. Tim.
right. She said that she didn't, she wanted to come to a meeting, of course, but she can't because of COVID. I've had a couple other residents that have approached me that have said they want to be able to comment or come in during a meeting. Of course, they can't because of COVID.
Tell them to put it in writing and we'll read it.
Did that. But then I also looked at the updated Open Meetings Act, the West Virginia Open Meetings Act with the pandemic restrictions. And it says that based on the CDC, you can decide whether or not to have people. The governing body may instead provide citizens with a call-in number or provide access via web link to a live stream of the meetings in real time.
Well, I don't expect, okay.
No. I'm reading this and I'm not sure that we're adhering to the Open Meetings Act, and I'd like TC to look into it, because the way I'm reading it is you have to either upload it to, you have to real-time live stream it to a website or have a call-in number.
Where they do that, we put in our notice in the paper. If they have questions, call the numbers. I get more slips on the desk, and I like that. That way I can call back and talk to the residents about their concerns. I don't know what's,
Can I not ask TC to look into
yeah,
how it reads?
I'm not anxious to infuriate you guys with any COVID, virus or
No.
anything. That's the one reason we still have closed meetings. I don't know what's important. There was somebody.
I'm not asking for open meetings.
I know.
I'm asking if we can have TC look at the coronavirus update to the Open Meetings Act to ensure that we're in compliance.
Yeah, I believe we are. If TC, if you want to look into that for it, fine.
Just some, I'll intervene too for a
Yeah,
second.
please.
As Don mentioned, the number has been posted. in the paper every week since we began having closed meetings. Secondly, we did try streaming the meetings live for quite a few months.
I remember.
Unfortunately, due to our geolocation down here in this valley with the metal roof, it's unattainable, okay? Which is why we brought Devin in to film it and post it prior. You know, we're doing the best we can. I'm all for TC looking into it if you feel that would be in the village's best interest. But just to assure you, we are taking the right steps to follow protocol.
It's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm reading it as it says, provide citizens with a call-in number or provide access via web link to a live stream of the meetings in real time.
You know, we never have that many people at a council meeting. We did when I first got into office, but everybody had all kinds of concerns that weren't addressed and everything. But we don't have that now. And if people have a concern, I would encourage them to call the girls in the office. They leave me a note, who calls, the name, address, time, and all that stuff. And I get back to
Don said as well, we've had people, you know, I've spoken to residents that have had concerns, and we've strongly urged them, if they are unable, you know, to pick up a phone, or they would prefer to communicate through letter, to write a letter and, you know, have it dropped off in the water box at Top Hill. We've encouraged multiple residents to do that. Unfortunately, nothing has transpired
Correct.
through that though, so, you know, you can take it as you would like, but like I said, we are trying to bring the best practices forward for the village. So if you feel that's a matter, you know, TC should look into the village, then by all means.
I'm not stating it correctly.
I think you're
Because
misunderstanding Tim.
Yes.
The way I hear him read that is,
I understand.
Don, I'm
what
not
you're
done. I'm not near done. You can't understand because you don't know what I'm going to
saying.
say.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. You got
Seriously.
the floor, okay? I'm listening.
Well, I started to speak and then you said you understood. I'm not even into the subject.
Okay,
yet.
get to the point.
Well, I got time. I got all kind of time. You're in 45 minutes. I'm going to take as long as I like. I can't believe you're doing that to me. Now, I'll state my point now. All I was saying was Tim is being misunderstood.
No, he's not.
I have the floor and I'm going to keep it, Mr. Mayor. I can't believe you're interrupting me like
I
that,
didn't interrupt you.
Donald Trump. So, what I'm getting at is Tim is stating an open phone line or video transmission, meaning right now they could call and talk on a speakerphone.
Right.
Now, did I say something you didn't understand? I think that's a new thing I just brought up, so you couldn't have understood it. So please, give us all a break here. Getting awful offensive when someone wants to talk.
That's the way I.
That's all, Mayor.
That's the way I understood it too, Mark. That open phone line
Yeah,
during
I'm not complaining
the
about the way
regular,
we're
during the
doing
regular
things.
meeting. So say under if a person wants to call at the end of the meeting, anybody wants to be heard,
Right.
and they can call in while the council meeting's going on. Is that,
We have
is that the
done.
way I understood it?
So similar, like the city of Wheeling does theirs via Zoom. And so residents can log into the Zoom meeting and bring up comments in real time during the meeting.
Yeah, right, that's the way I.
I'm not complaining about the way we do it. I just want to make sure that we're doing it right. Are we violating anything in the way we're doing it? I hope we're not. I'm not sure if we are. I'm not accusing anybody of not complying with anything. I just want to make sure. That's all.
Well,
TC, do you feel-
that'll all be taken care of, let TC look into it.
Right, right.
And then we'll get the options we have on available and we'll weigh it out.
This is clearly concerns, let's have TC look into it.
That's fine, yeah.
Are you done now, Mr. Sassoon?
I've been done. Didn't
Okay,
you hear me
that's fine.
say I was
Okay.
done 5 minutes ago?
Okay. Is there any other things under old business that needs to come before the council tonight? Okay, let's move into new business. One of the things I'd like to say here is that Jamie prepared for us with a report that's just called the Comprehensive Annual Financial Report. This is in addition to the one she usually does, the regular one. This was created, I remember John Hanning told me that the state wanted it done in a different format, so that she has to report two different reports. One is comprehensive, one is a regular report. The regular report was the one that was just published in the paper on September 25. The other thing is here that I mentioned earlier about a mayoral proclamation, Christian Heritage Week in West Virginia, which is to be celebrated November 22 to 28, as proclaimed by Governor Jim Justice, whereas it states, whereas Thanksgiving week marks the 29th consecutive Christian Heritage Week in West Virginia, thus continuing the tradition of annual proclamations beginning with Governor Gaston Capert in 1992 through 96, and continued by Governor Cecil Underwood from 1997 to 2000, Governor Bob Wise from 2001 through 2004, Governor Joe Manchin from 2005 through 2010, Governor Earl Ray Tomlin from 2011 through 2016, and Governor Jim Justice in 2017 through 2020. And whereas 220 mayors from 135 cities, towns, and villages throughout the state of West Virginia have proclaimed Christian Heritage Week since 2001, and whereas local churches are encouraged to participate with relevant Sunday school lessons, sermons, patriotic song services, youth program, and prayer meetings. Now, therefore, let it be known that November 22-28, 2020, Thanksgiving Week, is hereby proclaimed as Christian Heritage Week in the village of Bethlehem, West Virginia, and I invite all citizens to join with me in this observation, each in their own way. What is council's pleasure here? Would we like to make a motion to adopt this proclamation?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made. Any question on the motion? If there be any question on the motion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you. Stacky, was something you wanted to bring up under new business? Did I recall? Okay. Or Tim? Okay. Is there anybody have any other new business? Oh, okay. Ben has this radio program.
Oh, yeah.
I got into it with Ben the other day in question about the radio system. I thought it was still functional. Well, it is, but it isn't. And it's on the old low band, and I was trying to hunt my file because I remember probably 10 years ago renewing the license. You have to do it like every 10 years. And or I can remember, I think the frequency was 39.939 or something. Well, I can't find my file, but we would probably have to apply with the FCC for a new license to agree and tie in with the high band.
Not
So.
do that.
What's that?
Not with this. You wouldn't have to do, there's no fee for that. The only way that was a case is if we set up our own equipment, which is one of the things that Bearcom suggested, but that was $23,000 of a bid, and I said that we were not gonna go for that. So we're piggybacking off of existing things, which offers us a private channel without the incurred fees of the FCC.
Oh, Progressive would recommend?
Yes.
Okay, just so we're doing it proper. That's the main thing.
So we're on their own channel.
Okay, does anybody want to discuss with Ben further, or what's council feel about the Progressive Communications Program?
I just want to throw in, like Timmy brought up, it's going to happen, dropping and stuff like this. Make sure you tell the guys to be a little responsible.
Yeah.
If we do get this system, which it's not going to kill our funds, right, Jamie? The way he's talking about it. But tell them, we're doing this for you guys, be responsible, and take care of the equipment, okay?
And I'll try and make it a hard and fast rule that nothing gets in or right around water holes.
Are there protective cases?
I'm positive you can find them.
We might want to visit
Look
that.
into that.
That could be next month's funding request from the
Yeah,
Maintenance
see?
Department Park.
You guys thought you weren't
Protective-
gonna hear from me again.
Protective cases.
That was one of my concerns when Ben was talking about it. He says, what about the liability of our equipment and everything?
Yeah.
They gotta be cognizant, treated like it's their own.
So are you looking for a motion to pass this?
Yes, I would look, that's why I wanted to get the council's
Unless
input.
anybody got any other questions, I'll make that motion if we're done talking
second
about it.
We could go with Progressive Communications?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, is there a second?
I second it.
Tommy did. Tommy.
Tommy, okay. You got that? Okay, good. Okay, any question on a motion now? If there be no question on a motion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you.
I would just suggest with regard to that you clarify with them, because they are rental, if one's dropped and broken, that they'll replace it.
I will figure out exactly what the terms are for that and, make sure that we're all on the same page of exactly what that means.
And the second thing I would suggest is that you have the office contact Matt Wood with our insurance agency and see whether or not they can be listed as additional insured equipment. And if they can, just add them on. It can't be that much.
Okay.
Well,
That's good.
my next question, TC, can we okay this before we look into this?
Sure. Yeah. I think everybody here understands it's not subject to that, but that's what
Okay,
we want to
we
clarify.
can approve it, but he's gonna look into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he can let us know whether or not they will replace something that's dropped in a hole, as Tim suggested, or dropped on the ground, or run over by a truck, and if our insurance agency will also take it on as equipment. It has to be nominal.
Yeah, that's why I heard you see that.
That's all I have.
Okay, if we covered, is there any other new business to come before council? Jamie, did you want to meet the four of us tonight to go over the,
If that's okay for everybody,
Yeah.
if not, we'll do it another day.
okay, I have Matt and I have Aaron. Who was the third one?
Steve or Tommy?
Yeah, Tommy, okay. Okay. If there be no further,
Yeah, we had four of us is myself,
yeah,
Aaron, Steve,
Tommy,
Steve and Tommy.
okay,
That is the four.
okay. Okay, is there any other, new business before we adjourn? The four of us can get together after the meeting. We don't have, you don't want to do this during the meeting, say, Jamie? Okay, this will be like a committee meeting. Okay. If there be no other new business to come before council, I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.